the 1700s, British and American ships cut their sails from a coarse East Indian cloth. The cloth took its name from the town Dungarees, where the cloth was first made. Legend has it that the crew would cut up old sails to make work pants, calling them Dungarees. To this day, Dungarees remain part of the U.S. Navy enlisted uniform, a colorful example of our military heritage.
Okay, Danny, hold these up.
Like this?
Yep. I think the birds are going to love it.
Can we nail it together?
Is that what the plans call for?
This says screws, I think, and glue.
Uh-huh.
Why don't we just nail it, Dad? It'd be quicker.
Shortcuts aren't always the best way.
It'd be just as strong.
Maybe. But the person who designed this thought screws would be better. As my dad used to say, there's two ways to do something.
The quick way and the right way.
Sometimes they're the same. But one thing I've learned in the Army, sometimes shortcuts can cause problems. The key is to always find out what the book says first. You can't go wrong if you follow procedures.
Okay, Dad. I'll get the screws.
I think this shows what they should look like.
Shortcuts may work, but they can also lead to ethical problems. For advice, contact Legal Affairs.
If you're looking for a career that'll give you some real rewards and a few headaches, how about becoming a teacher? Okay, you're going to get some students like me who clown around when we're supposed to be listening. But the first time you teach a 6-year-old to read, or convince a 16-year-old not to drop out, you're going to know it's worth it. Listen, we don't always make your job easy, but we do need you.
If you think a physical fitness program for your family means nothing but grunts and groans at the gym, then we invite you to join families like these for a breath of fresh air. There are so many different fun-filled ways to build healthy bodies and build closer and more rewarding relationships. Enjoy activities together for the fun of it.
The early 60s were a simpler time. In between listening to Chubby Checker and getting the beehive hairdo just right, it was a time when people started thinking a little more about other people. It was a time when a new concept in helping our fellow human beings around the world was developed. 1961 was the birth year of the combined Federal Campaign. Over the past 3 decades, many things have faded away. Many have changed for the better, and some for the worse. It's good to know that people still care about helping other people. And thanks to your support, the CFC is still making that happen, helping others in ways never thought of in 1961. Continue the spirit of giving. Support the CFC.
The National Guard and Reserves, and the men and women who work within the Department of Defense. They, along with our active duty forces, make up the total military team. Now, anywhere in the world, the National Guard and Reserves work and train side by side with our active duty forces, ready to support a common goal, our national defense. Now, the civilian employees in the Department of Defense perform a variety of clerical and technical jobs, which helps the 4 active duty branches accomplish their mission. Now, all 3 are connected by a common goal, and that makes each one important. They're held together by a commitment to America's security and to world peace. And because they're joined together, as they have been throughout our military history, America's defense remains strong and secure.
You left on the light when you said good night. Ain't that a waste? Such a costly waste. Ain't that a waste? Electricity waste. Ain't that a waste?
Electricity. Use it wisely.
Kevin Nealon.
Quite often, our adversaries have trained observers looking and listening for insights to our plans. Casual conversations that may seem harmless or activities that may appear insignificant by themselves can add up to valuable information for our adversaries. That's why it's important for all of us to keep Operation Security in mind all of the time. OPSEC is everyone's responsibility.
Hello, I'm Alan Thicke with American Treasury. Canada's famed red-coated Royal Canadian Mounted Police once had a more threatening name. What it was and why it was changed after this.
If you take the security of your personal property lightly, believing that everything is in the bag, the only things in the bag will be your valuable possessions.
In 1873, a force of 300 Canadians was sent to deal with a group of American traders who had been creating havoc among Indians. The United States did not like the idea of an armed force patrolling the joint border. So the Canadians changed the name of their Northwest Mounted Rifles to the Northwest Mounted Police. In 1920, the Mounties became a federal force throughout Canada, achieving legendary status for always getting their man. It's a fact in the Library of Congress. Learn more about the Mounties in your library.
When you've got a job to do, you work at it, year after year. But some people want more than just to work at a job. They want responsibility and the opportunity to grow. So you have a choice. You can just spend your time whittling, or you can stay in the military and carve out a career that will really serve you well in the future. It's something to think about.
The early 60s were a simpler time. In between listening to Chubby Checker and getting the beehive hairdo just right, it was a time when people started thinking a little more about other people. It was a time when a new concept in helping our fellow human beings around the world was developed. 1961 was the birth year of the combined Federal Campaign. Over the past 3 decades, many things have faded away. Many have changed for the better, and some for the worse. It's good to know that people still care about helping other people. And thanks to your support, the CFC is still making that happen, helping others in ways never thought of in 1961. Continue the spirit of giving. Support the CFC.
I'm Pam Dawber with American Treasury. Long before Johann Gutenberg invented movable type, printed books were already common in China. How the Chinese did it after this.
Smoking. It's something you can live without.
For ages, the Chinese passed along the wisdom of their great books by copying each one by hand. However, by doing this, they also passed along centuries of errors. By the 9th century, Chinese artisans developed a method of duplicating important writings by carving entire books into stone slabs from which paper rubbings were made. The process was extremely difficult, but these Chinese rubbings were the first copies that were absolutely faithful to the originals. It's a fact in the Library of Congress. Learn about early printing in your library.
Have some cauliflower, Susie. It's good for you.
Yuck, I hate cauliflower. Besides, Tommy doesn't have to eat it, so why do I?
It's good for you. Tommy could choke on it. Babies can't eat certain foods, like cauliflower. And they can't eat other things either, like nuts or grapes or hard candies. That's why I'm giving Tommy strained carrots. They told us at the Well Baby Clinic to be careful about the foods we give to the baby. But I think you're old enough to have some of this delicious and nutritious cauliflower.
Mom, do I have to eat it?
You know what, Susie? Maybe it would be safer if you didn't have any cauliflower. And then that way, tonight, when you're watching TV, you could have some strained carrots instead of that popcorn that you love so much. You know, it could be dangerous for you to eat.
Cheap trick, Mom. Pass the cauliflower.
Well, it's that time again for all of us to put your hands on the radio, feel the vibrations. Hey, it's me. I'm Joe Riley, Armed Forces Radio. Most people think I'm should be tall, dark, and handsome. Here I am. The kind of music I play is alternative/AOR, album-oriented rock. You know, alternative music, it's taste. It's like a Picasso. You walk in, you have two people. One person looks at the Picasso and says, great painting. The other person says, great wallpaper for the bathroom. It's just different. Yeah, I've been interested in different music simply because there's different people involved, and I like to be a little bit to the left of everything else that's going on. Like to have a good time. That's the best way to describe me. Through music or just talking to people, I just like to have a good time. I love it, simply because I know that they're out there doing their job. They want a taste of what America's doing, and it's kind of frightening, but they do look at us, and it's enjoyable to really know that we're doing something for them.
America's best DJs playing your favorite music for more than 50 years on AFRTS.